Now let's jump in. President Trump is back in the White House, reassuring Americans that COVID doesn't stand a chance against a drugged-up, deranged man with a God complex.
A White House source tells Axios it's insane that he would return to the White House and jeopardize his staff's health when we are still learning of new cases among senior staff. This place is a cesspool. Man, you think you know a guy, and then he goes and does something completely in line with everything you know about him. Now, Senator, will voters be impressed that Trump is both working through and on behalf of the illness?
Well, I believe that the American people should be very concerned. First of all, for the next day or two, he's hopped up on prednisone, so sure he feels pretty good. But that's not going to last long.
But, you know, on the upside, I heard that now that Trump is a walking pharmacy screaming about how great he feels, he's never felt closer to Don Jr.
You know, a friend of mine actually saw Trump and Larry Kudlow at 4 a.m. this morning pounding on the hood of a blue Corvette, begging a 7-Eleven clerk to open up.
On the Democratic side, Joe Biden continues to make the unpopular case to the American public that they should be concerned with others.
I view wearing this mask not so much protecting me, but as a patriotic responsibility. All the tough guys say, I'm not wearing a mask, I'm not afraid. Well, be afraid for your husband, your wife, your son, your daughter, your neighbor, your coworker. That's who you're protecting having this mask on.
Now, Senator, do you agree with Biden's idea that masks are patriotic, or is patriotism better expressed by waving a flag depicting Andrew Jackson reading a bedtime story to an AR-15?
Well, I believe that Joe Biden's telling the American people what they need to hear, not necessarily what they want to hear.
You know, the polls look good now for Joe Biden, but sometimes late at night I can hear 2016 still whispering, I'm going to happen again.
No one's here, you remind yourself, but then you hear the footsteps. Creak, creak, creak.
Stop it, Sarah. You're scaring Teddy.
I'm fine. 2016 will never happen again. It's dead. Biden's going to win Texas. Do you hear me?
That's what 2016 wants you to think, but then suddenly the lights go out.
And you realize the truth. Likely voters don't want to tell pollsters they're voting for racist.
The lights came
The
back.
lights
Okay,
came
the
back
pollsters
on.
adjusted the models for 2016. We're going to be fine.
Now, Senator Reid, can you calm Teddy down?
I think Democrats are going to be fine. Poll yesterday showed Biden 14 points ahead of Trump.
Oh, you hear that, Teddy? 14 points. You're going to be just fine.
Just
Thank you,
like
sir.
last time. Now, shifting to the Senate, at least 3 senators have tested positive for COVID-19, including Republican Senator Ron Johnson.
He still insists on voting for Amy Coney Barrett's confirmation, doubling down on his pro-life stance for everyone except his Senate colleagues.
If we have to go in and vote, I mean, I've already told the leadership I'll go in the moon suit. So we think this is pretty important.
You know, I have to say, it is wonderful to finally see NASA research leverage not only just for space travel, but also for taking away women's rights right here on Earth. Now, Senator Reid, are you wistful for yesteryear when the Democrats' biggest problem was the Koch brothers not contracting a deadly disease?
Well, I think that Trump has taught them what he believes. Just don't worry about other people, just worry about yourself. And it appears that's what Johnson's doing.
Now, I am just so glad that Senate Republicans have their priorities straight. I mean, so many American families are at home right now wondering where their next Supreme Court justice is going to come from. Now, Senator, you have a new documentary about how you saw the possibility of a new West emerging in Nevada and ushered in the transition to renewable energy.
Here's a clip from Earth Focus, The New West, Politics and the Environment.
We got most of what we wanted, as did the ranchers, as did the Department of Wildlife, as did some of the mining interests.
Senator Reid brought to the dialogue, you can have 100% of nothing if you're not willing to give something away.
The legislation that a Republican and Democratic Senate duo were able to accomplish together.
Praise the Lord. It's good for everyone.
Senator, that was terrifying. Good for everyone is usually code for slightly less great for me.
Yeah, Senator, you're a Vegas man. Why are you trying to curb people's right to gamble their future away?
That's the reason. It's a gamble. We have to do something about it so the odds are better for American people.
But isn't Part of the fun of gambling, that you might lose and everyone you know might die in a forest fire.
Now, Senator, I just started a global megacorporation exclusively for large-scale fracking on federal land with a significant investment from a consortium of petro-kingdoms. What about the little guys like me?
Well, the only fracking I'd like to do is maybe frack you.
Wow.
Chuck Schumer
got
certainly
you,
doesn't talk like
Teddy.
that.
This took a turn.